The role of an exercise physiologist is to help you improve your physical and mental health through an individualised evidence-based exercise program that takes into account your barriers, your motivation, your exercise history, and all the unique circumstances that are affecting you at this point in time. My name is Simon Rosenbaum. I'm an exercise physiologist and a senior research fellow at the University of New South Wales and the Black Dog Institute. So you might be referred to an exercise physiologist for a number of reasons. Generally it's for chronic disease or some sort of chronic issue that's affecting health. So that can be the physical health, so things like diabetes or cancer or poor function, but also increasingly for mental health issues, so things like depression, anxiety, and also post-traumatic stress disorder. So exercise physiologists might work as part of a multidisciplinary team in a general practice or in private practice or hospitals, a range of different settings.
My name is Craig Semple. I'm a former police detective in the New South Wales Police Force. 25-year career I had in the police force. I was medically retired about 6 years ago as a result of post-traumatic stress disorder and also major depressive disorder. So exercise physiology was a really important part of my recovery process.
When you think about preparing yourself to see an exercise physiologist, I would keep in mind how you prepare to see any other health professional, and that's probably not a whole lot. You might think about your medical history or the reasons why you're there or why you've been referred to see the exercise physiologist, but really you don't need a whole lot of preparation at all. Turning up in loose-fitting, comfortable clothes is probably a good idea, but in many cases you may not actually do any exercise for the first couple of sessions, and it's really important to remember that the exercise physiologist is there to understand your situation and to help you as best they can to get active for whatever that means for your current situation.
I learnt strategies about mindfulness, learning meditation techniques, and also about having a pleasurable activity plan.
In terms of what to expect from your first session with an exercise physiologist, it's really going to be about the exercise physiologist understanding your situation, understanding your medical history, your exercise background, what you like, what you don't like, and how together you can come up with a program that fits around your unique situation.
Progress with my post-traumatic stress disorder was complicated by the fact the depression, the symptoms of depression would sometimes hold me back. As far as robbing me of the motivation and initiative to get up and work really hard at the strategies I was being taught. I had real issues with my energy levels and concentration and things like that. I was introduced to yoga as a way, because exercise is really important as part of recovery, and so is mindfulness, and yoga is sort of a combination of the two. It's a really good way to settle a lot of those anxious responses that we get from post-traumatic stress symptoms.
But there's also benefits that can happen following one single session. So for example, we know that if you manage to get up out of bed and go for a walk or go for a run, that we can sometimes feel that immediate benefit where we feel that runner's high that people talk about. Really the aim of seeing an exercise physiologist is to maximise both those short-term and long-term benefits that you can get from engaging in an appropriate, sustainable exercise program.
In the police force, sometimes we get ourselves into a combat mindset where we get ourselves super aroused with adrenaline and being able to make sure that we're ready for the risk that we're about to be exposed to. But it's really important to learn techniques to bring yourself down from that combat mindset at the end of a shift as well. And that's where things like meditation, exercise and yoga can play a really important role.
My top tips for recovery are firstly to seek help and talk to your health professionals. When it comes to exercise, to remember that any activity is better than none. And finally to take the first step, which is often the hardest part about commencing an exercise program.